Greetings! This is another Sprocket video where I will show you some of my really old designs from Scrap Mechanic. So here I am in a Scrap Mechanic to show you our first subject, and this would be the HGS 1033. So this is a light tank and it's a tiny one, and as you can see it's made of concrete, which if you know this game, you know when this was created. This was created back when survival mode didn't exist and when concrete was a medium weight block, not a heavy one. So yes, this is ancient. It did work at some point, and to an extent it still does work. Never mind. But alright, let's replace it. But other than that, this is quite an abstract design, so I had a lot of things to do. I had a lot of opportunities to improve on it, so yes, let's see the Sprocket version. So, this would be the 1033's Sprocket version. So, yeah, as you can see, some things did change. Let's start with the turret. First of all, the Scrap Mechanic version was open top out of necessity to keep the thing small. Here I didn't have to worry about such things, so it's closed. So it does have a roof in this game. Now, the elephant in the room, yes, it has a pike nose because it looks cool. Yes, that was my reasoning behind this decision. But other than that, it's still a really small vehicle. It only weighs 11 tons, so yeah, it's a very lightweight vehicle. It has a 75mm gun with 167mm of penetration, and it's very quick. If I remember correctly, it can get up to 65 km per hour. It's a late war vehicle, by the way. And it's small, it's quick, it has a... well, I would have said a punchy gun, but this isn't really a punchy gun, it's just a pea shooter, but a little bit effective one at that. And probably the most interesting part of this design is the gun mantlet, or lack thereof. It has basically a fabric gun mantlet thing. So yes, it looks a bit odd, I have to admit. I used these bag pieces in this game, so yeah, it may be a little weird, but I like it. It's not terrible, so yeah. Our next subject would be the HGS 1035. So the idea behind this tank is to make the smallest possible vehicle with a 4-round autoloader, and oh my god, this thing is a bit too responsive, but not in the right place. And I believe this one still works. Yes, it does work. It was made already in the survival update. Oof, I just destroyed a tree. So it does work, so yes. And this turret is quite ugly, even in Sprocket, so let's take a look at that. Alright, ugly might not have been the best word to use, but I don't know how to describe this turret. It's certainly uniquely shaped. So yes. This, of course, is a light tank. It only weighs 20.22 tons, so it's rather lightweight. It has a big gun, a 105mm L60 with 243mm of penetration. And I think this is one of my more effective light tanks. It has good gun depression, which for such a large gun on such a small vehicle is quite an achievement. And like, this is just simply a really well-performing vehicle, all in all. Of course, it doesn't bounce anything. It is completely paper. It has practically zero armor. Like, the turret front is around 70-75. Everywhere else it's just 35. The hull is even weaker, so this just is not built to bounce. So yeah, it's not really that big of an issue, since as I have observed in the Taiga scenario, this vehicle just doesn't get aimed at. I don't know why. It's just a very survivable vehicle, even though it's quite a light one. So yes. Our last subject is the AGS 1071, the first artillery design I have ever created. So, where do I even begin? This is made of cardboard, because of course it is, and the gun is stuck, because of course it is. It does work. It does work a little bit. What the fuck? It has double bearing suspension. This is, I think, the most ancient of the three vehicles I have shown in this video. Like, this one is quite an old one. So let's see what I did with this design in Sprocket. And here it would be. First of all, the other two were made months ago. This one is actually one of my most recent vehicles. I made it a week prior to recording this video, or even less. I can't quite remember. Anyways, so it has leaf spring suspension. Not a great one, but I mean, it's just an artillery piece, so it doesn't really matter. It has riveted armor and has a bit of angling on the front, slight angling on the sides, and no armor at the rear. Because of obvious reasons, it's an open top vehicle. Now, you can tell that this is actually a newer creation by looking at the engine deck. It's custom made. So yes. And of course it has a travel lock. And with some magic tricks I can make that travel lock actually lock the gun in place. So yes, that's cool, I guess. Anyways, let's take a look at this vehicle. So first of all, of course, it's an open top artillery. It has a 130mm gun. The penetration technically does not matter, because this would shoot high explosive rounds if they existed in this game. The closest things to HE is APHE, so yes, whenever I shoot the ground, it does a little explosion animation thing. And of course it has a fully detailed interior. First of all, the gun is completely modeled by me, of course, so it looks fine, I guess. The traverse is taken care of by these two, and as you can see, I have a driver's position here and a radio operator position here. Now, as you can see, there is no way to shift gears, except theoretically this is one gear up and one gear down. So if the driver wants to change gears, he presses on the clutch and changes a gear up or a gear down. So theoretically this is how it would work. Would this work in real life? Probably not. If it did, it would probably be very finicky, very maintenance heavy, and just awful. So I don't know. In theory this is how it would work. Yes, I even thought of this. And there's some things on the floor for a better grip for the soldier's feet. And these crates are here because these store ammo. Yeah, that's actually quite obvious now that I think about it. But other than that, this thing is really not that impressive. Yeah, sure, the interior design might be quite cool, I guess, maybe. But in combat, this thing just doesn't do well. I tried it. It can win, but yeah, it's not built for close combat. Well, I mean, no shit, this is an artillery piece. And I have some jerry cans on the side because why not? This area looked a bit blank, so I just put some jerry cans there. So yes, this would be the end of this video. If you liked it, hit the dislike button. If not, hit the dislike button. If you want to, you can unsubscribe. Bye.